規矩についてお話ししますね。規矩、決まり事。決まり事。
花の規矩じゃなくて。
規矩。決まり事。規則。
規則。So he's going to talk about today. He's going to talk about the rules. Rules.
これから議官報酬が海外において全道を設立するにあたりましてね、この道場はこういう全風家風方針でいくという最低限の規則を設ける必要があります。
So for him Ito-san to go back to Chile and then start a temple, he requires a certain set of rules as a foundation of the temple.
ここで、この規矩の大切さをお話しするんですが、北海道大学になるまでは農業高校だったんです。北海道農業高校だったんですよ。
So, I think he's starting with the example. So there is how important the rule is, and he's bringing up the example. So there's a university as of today in Hokkaido. It's called Hokkaido University, but it was a high school.
それで大学にこの昇格するというか重きをなすにあたって、各教授陣からこうすべきである学生はこうあらしめねばならないというそれぞれの規則を提案されたんですよ。
So it once was actually a farming school, farming school, and then now to elevate this status to university, all these teachers were given certain suggestions for the basic rules.
その時にアメリカから来られたあれは何というクラーク、
はい、
教授が一言ですね、日本人はこのように自己管理ができる自立心がある、くだらないものは規則を文言に書く必要はないと、ただ一言紳士たれと。紳士とはどういうことかということを任意が考えて、それにふさわしい行為行動をとって自己管理をしておればそれで十分だと。
So there was a teacher, I mean a professor from the university, maybe from the United States, Mr. Clark, and he came to the Hokkaido University. It wasn't university back then, Hokkaido Farming School, and then he suggested, well, since what I observe for Japanese people, you people have an ability to self-discipline. You people have the ability to self-guidance. So I do not suggest to have rules as such, but maybe it's only if there was one thing, just to write just only one rules, which was direct translation is be a gentleman, and then meaning that it is really up to each of you person to interpret, because you people you can manage yourself in well, self-disciplined people. So you always remind yourself, be a gentleman, and what it means to you, it depends on to each one of you. But then always come back to that rule.
これは中国の古い話になってのことですけども、我々は古い浅い国籍を問わず大切な教えは取り入れて、それを修行に生かしていくというのが本文ですね。
So in China, there's all they have thousands of history. So they have very long history with profound teachings. However, for us, I think he says it here, is that even old or recent, doesn't matter if it's long as it is profound, we are willing to take into our teachings.
その祖師の偉大な祖師の一人にね、五祖法円禅師という人がいたんです。五祖法円。
祖師はどこの祖師の方でしょうか？
悟られた人はみんな祖師と言うんです。
Okay, so one of the people who is enlightened and who is called Goen Soshi.
その方のお弟子さんがお寺に招かれて、住職になるんでしょう。要するに自分の弟子が住職になるにあたって3つのなんていうか注意すべきことを与えるんですね。
So he has become master, he's enlightened, and he has his disciple, and his disciple, this is another example, his disciple became a head of apathetic A temple, and for that, the master gave him 3 teachings.
それでこれからが参考にしていただきたい、ことを申し上げるんですがね、まず第一にね、規則は半分にしとけと。
So from now he's going to talk to Ito-san about his teachings, and the first thing is that any rules you set, make it half.
なぜならば合わせ構成で小さいことまで規則づくめにしてしまうと、伸びる人が伸びていかないし、この規則に反発する人も出てくるからね、そこのところ半分は個人の責任において守れないものは追い出せばいいんですから。
Because if you have so many rules, pointing to each details, and there will be some people who come and find it very against the rules, and also who has the potential also be maybe eliminated because of such rules, and if somebody was really against and not willing to obey, it's okay, let them leave.
今朝ほど私禅道に行っていましたが、自分が座った跡形を初めのようにきちっと整えておる人といない人があった。それを私は整えてきた。こういうふうに自分の使ったものを元通りにできないようなものは、ある意味では修行者としては半端もんですからね。そういうものは叩き出さんと、その禅道の規矩というもの、真実を伝えていくものの器でないからね。そういう自己管理のできないものを大勢入れちゃったら、その道場めちゃくちゃになる。それを点検するのにはね、規則は半分でいいんですよ。そうするといい加減なものが分かるからね。いい加減なものは入れない。
So For example, today I just went to the dojo, and I saw some people who, before they came in, they just kept, as they left, they kept as it was before they enter. So they returned all the state into how it was. But whereas some others, they just left as is. They didn't clean up and then put things back where it was. They just left, just like that. So there will be always in the future some people who does and who doesn't. And if there are many people who doesn't, and that's going to be completely chaos. And yeah, but then just make the rules half and as minimum as possible, and then eliminate these people who doesn't, even from the beginning, the fundamental principle doesn't apply to them. So for example, the cleaning up is really fundamental principle. If you cannot obey, let them leave.
その次にね、法を解くにあたってね、事細かく解くのはやめて半分にしとけと。
Okay, next thing is that for the teachings, I think this is my guess. I think for the teachings, again, make it half.
なぜかというと、先答えを出すと計算をする能力が落ちるから。
Because if you give them the answer first, they're not going to actually start thinking.
それで人をよく観察し、己を観察して、何のための修行であるか、何のための今の自分の人間としての本来であるかを自分自身でよく反省をし、学び、高めていくためにはどうするかということを自分で考える必要があるから。
So, observe yourself, observe others, and then why you are here, why you are even learning Zen to start with. One always has to go back and really reflect always, and that's something. That's why he said make it half of the teachings, because one has to reflect themselves by themselves.
それから最後のもう一つはね、人からいろんな協力者が出てくる。その協力をすることをね、貪るようなことをするなと。
The last thing is that there will be lots of people helping you for whatever the path you take. But remember, these people don't just take.
なぜかというと、本当の真心でない人から貪りを受けると、今度は見返りを求められるようになるからね。
Because if you take something from somebody who is not genuine, they expect something in return.
そして道元禅師、曹洞宗永平寺の御開さんの道元禅師様はね、まず本当に自己を求めるため、真実を求めるための本当の愚道心を起こせと。
So Zogen Zenji, I think he is the founder of the Zen sect. So he said, first one has to have 不動言。ごめんなさい。増減電池が不動言って言われました。
要するに、
はい、
菩提心を起こせと。
菩提心、ごめんなさい。菩提心。Okay. So sorry. The Zogen Doshi said that one has to have the Bodaishin. Bodaishin meaning, I think he's going to explain.
そうしないと、その禅道にね、ちょっとだけ座禅を体験してみたいとか、座禅を味わってみたいとか、見てみたいとか、そういう人が入ってくるからね。
質問ですけど、ごめんなさい。菩提心っていうのはまずどういうふうに
努力心、愚道心、向上心、求める心のこと。
So Bodaishin meaning is that the mind that you want to pursue, the desire to pursue, the desire to go be better, desire to go further. Bodaishin, originally Bodai means that it's a tree of the Buddha, so people gather there. So that desire to really learn. So unless you have that, there will be people who come and just to taste it, just to taste a little bit of the Zen, just to taste a little bit of meditation, but without having this Bodaishin, the urge, the desire to seriously to walk that path and commit.
で、2つ目はね、向こうをするし、要するに先輩たちにを参考にして個人を慕え、先輩を慕え、個人の教えを大事にしろということです。
Okay. The next one is that the teachings from the people, our predecessors, who may have already passed away, we have to respect and make sure to take in the teachings of the predecessors, the people who before, not the successors, predecessors,
最後はね、真実を求めよと。
And the last one is go after the truth, ultimate truth.
その真実というのを、各々が求めていきますとね、心が開けていくんですよ。それでちょっと分かっただけでも、悟ったと思うような誤解を招くんですね。でも最後本当に徹しきって過去がスパッと落ちて、本当に今がはっきりしてね、迷いから覚め、囚われから解放され、過去から全く過去の支配を受けない、参考にしても支配を受けないほどに自分が自由を得て、今が明らかになる。そしてこの自分の師匠からね、よくやったぞ、本物を得たぞと言われるまで、この自分の修行を緩めるなということです。
And then the last thing is that you have to work very, very, very hard until, one has to work hard until you achieve the enlightenment. But then the enlightenment is very easily misled as you work very hard. Maybe you feel like, I think this is the enlightenment. But no, that's still halfway through. But once you really reach that point, everything becomes clear. The past, the illusion of the past is completely disappeared in front of your eyes. And whatever you do, your focus is always stayed in this present moment. And that it becomes so clear. Everything becomes so clear, even to the master. And the master will finally give you the blessing that you have become enlightened. Up until then, one must not give up and continue the path of the enlightenment. That's the final rule.
これは座禅に限ったことではない、教育全体の目的のことになるんですが、 何のために教育をするのかと。
So what I'm going to say is that maybe it's not just the Zen, meditation, but maybe it applies to the education as well. Why, we teach.
自分のことですから、自分で考えて、自分で決断をして、そして自分の意思で行動をとって、その行動に対して全責任を取るという、そういう人間にするために教育があるということです。
Education, the very, very essence of education is one has to think. One has to be responsible of the one actions after their thinking. They make actions. An action has consequences, and the one has to be responsible of the consequences. So as a whole, one has to take that everything, all the responsibility to themselves. The education, the principle of education is to teach that.
そのために時間と空間ということは、今をどうあるべきかということを子供の時には分かりませんよ。だけどそれを知るために子供は自由と安心と、それからこのそのための自由にできる空間がだけにはなりませんからね。鳥かごのゲージのような中に入れたら自由がないわけですから、この安心と自由を十分に与えて、怪我のないように親は見守ってやらなきゃいかんでしょ。
So, for that, the parent has to provide the safety and also environment and also the time for them to nurture their freedom, to understand their freedom.
それでこの禅道に当たってはね、みんな修行するために来ておるんですから、他の修行の妨げになるようなこと、人に迷惑をかけるようなこと、つまり自己管理のできないものは、それ禅道に入る資格がないからね。
So, in this monastery, I mean, not just monastery, his monastery as well, in this monastery, one should not prevent from others to their learning, their studying, so we should not, bother them too much. And if there are such people, they don't have the very, very foundation of even coming to this temple to start studying.
そして禅道に入った者は、つまり禅道場に集まった人たちは、皆真実を求めるため、自分を高めて自分で自己責任が取れるような人になるために集まった人たちですから、まず信じなきゃいけない。
So these people who came to this Zen temple, not just this Zen temple, but Zen temple in general, whoever comes to the Zen temple, they are really somehow seeking the truth. They come to find the truth. Yes, or from all the way. So, ごめんなさい、ちょっと忘れました。その人が集まって聞いて
来た人たちはみんな一つ目的ですから。
Okay, yeah, so they have that, that goal to find the truth.
そのためには、信じ合うためには、虚偽偽りがあってはならないでしょ。
So to find the truth, therefore, we must trust them. We must trust them and we must trust each other. To do that, there should not be confusions and also confusions. For now, I would translate that way.
そして師匠の言う通りを実践をする。
And then the people will just follow what the master said. Exactly what he says, try to follow it.
そうすると、その先輩と後輩の差が出てくるでしょ。
Then you have even among students, these people who started studying longer, much earlier, and or somebody who just came in. So even among students, there will be these classes, differences, the levels.
したがって先輩は常に新米さんの手本であるんですよ。
So therefore, the elder doesn't mean the age, who came to study, who is, studying them longer, doesn't mean the age. So these elders has to always be a good example for the, later student.
そして入った人は先輩を敬って信じてついていかなきゃいけないですね。
So then these people who just joined has to respect the elders and also believe and trust and then follow them.
で先輩は常に後輩を優しく温かく厳しく見守ってやっていく。
Then the elders always look after the newbies and then kindly, yet with a very firm restriction as well.
今申し上げたような内容を今度はこの成文化して規矩にしていくわけですね。
So like these things what I've just described, eventually we put that into sentences and then have all these basic principles for a dojo.
これからこの伊藤御法師が主体になって関係者がこの協議してね、この時間的な規矩、何時に起きて何をするとかいうある程度この柱を作っておかなきゃいけませんから、そして今度は精神的な内容はこういうこの不届きなものは入れないという基準をね、こういうものは入っちゃいかん、こういうものは大切にしようというこの時間的規矩と、それから人間の上中下があるから、
はい、
ここの基準値をね、
はい、
どこまで入れるかということも関係者とここ語り合って、
はい、
それから追い出すにあたってはこういうことをやったら追放しようという、要するに法律のようなものを極めてやっていくんですね。日本にはここには9日府があって開放型ですから、ここはですから絶対自分を自分で管理してできないものはもう資格がないから追放すると。それでこの手本になるように人に慕われるようにこのやっていく人は指導者の資質がありますから、こういう人はより大事に育てる。つまりヒノキならばそこらのガラクタのようなところに使っちゃいかんです。よく磨いて床の間のように使わないと死んでしまうから。ところがうっかり間違えて雑木の後でどうなっていくかわけのわからないようなものをね、切った瞬間、磨いた瞬間、カンナかけた瞬間きれいですけども、すぐにひばりが出てきてひねくり回してきますから、こういうものを床の間なんかに使ったら後で大恥をかいてやりなさいになりませんからね。
So he will be for his dojo making these rules with the him as well as people who is very close to him. For the rules, you have the basic like daily curriculum, time-based rules, as well as more like principle, more like spiritual principle of rules of to go habitants of it within that within dojo, that rule. So he has to set two rules and make sure for those who has the potential, meaning that and also sorry, so that time-based rules and those principles, and then the last thing was that rules when and what happens we expel such persons, which is also very important because if one cannot respect the all these basic principles, especially those people who cannot even manage themselves, self-discipline themselves, that we just have to let them go. So the people who follow all these rules and principles, you can see, you observe them, and they have the huge potential. Then make sure you to grow them well, because they can be possible disciples. So yeah.
これ将来あなたも参画するんですか？
どこにでしょうか？
全道を建設し、
いや
全くタッチしないんですか？
また今のところは全然関わらないです。
そうですか。最初は大切ですからね。
はい。
最初流れが清ければ水泳も清くなるんですが、
はい、
流れの元が濁れたら、水泳が清きになることはないですからね。ですから規矩もやりすぎたら人を作る損ねるし、足らなくっても雑物が混入をして食えなくなりますからね、砂が入ると。
So the rules is very important. How we set this at the very beginning really determine the long way path. So we have to be really selective and very wise to set that rules. And the principles that may really, if you have if we have so many principles, principle rules, so many rules, then that's gonna kill certain people who could have a potential. But if you have too much less, then you have so many people who is really, they do their things, all over, and then the whole dojo gets completely chaos. So you have to have the right balance for that.
私も大きく期待をしておりますし、こういう世界になればなるほど心から全部起こってますからね。いかにこの心の教育が大切かということね。
So he has a huge expectation to Ito-san to build the Zen temple. And especially in this moment, for example, happening the war, everything's coming from here. Everything's coming from our heart. So therefore, what he and you are doing is very, very, very important.
この平和にする言っても、一人一人が自己管理、つまりジェントルマンとしての精神が備われば、戦いが起こるわけがないし、争うことがあるわけがないし、財布が落ちとったらね、気の毒だなという気が起きたら、懐に入れることしないでしょ。
So if we have the very simple principle, be a gentleman, if each one of us in this world really reflect such phrase to what you're doing right now, there will be no war. There will be no people who would steal things.
そうは思っても 動物的な自己中心にしてこの敵からどう逃れるか、どうやったら弱いものと捕まえて餌にするか、つまり欲望というものから免れませんからね。
Well, sure, we read this, be a gentleman. However, our mind, even though that's the right things, but you never know if you're gonna do it or not. It's a great thing, but then just like other animals, we have this instinct to survive. You try to find the weaker prey, somebody who can be preyed, so that they can eat. So that's the world. But we need we have to be human. We have to elevate ourselves, not to stay as an animal, but to be a human.
それで一人がね、この純粋な正しい自然でこの自我のない欲望のない空っぽの一呼吸がスルスルスルいつまでもできるようになるように心を美しくしないとジェントルマンになれないんです。
So to do that, to be a gentleman, you breathe in and breathe out with complete pureness, complete focus in the now. Unless you can do that, you can be truly a gentleman.
そうなると心が美しくなると何でも尊敬するし何でも拝めるようになるんです。
Once you have this purified mind, completely pure after the enlightenment, you just become so grateful of everything that you have, you're surrounded by. And then you just naturally really bow and pray for the greatness of your surroundings.
そうなると物を大切にし、もちろん人を大切にしますからね。
Then you naturally, you take take good care of the things you have. Anything you take a good extra care, and if you do so, naturally, you pay great care to your people that you're surrounded by.
そのために修行をするんですから。
So that's really our purpose to pursue to work on this discipline that we are taking this. We chose to take this path. This is the path of the discipline.
これから伊藤ご法宗の力量が世界を救うことになりますのでね、大いに期待をしておりますし、支援者もこれから増えてくると思いますのでね。
So I'm very certain that Ito-san will be very, very important in this endeavor. It's quite meaningful and for the world. And I can also see there will be so many people willing to contribute financially as well.
心を一つにして、まずは自分がジェントルマンたるべく。
Put your mind together and just always reflect for yourself, to be a gentleman.
今油断をせずに、一心を大切にしてやってもらいたいですね。
Yes, always pay attention to the present and then focus to the now and never forget that.
モニカさん、何か質問ありませんか？
Any questions?
No. I think it's very clear and very beautiful.
とてもわかりやすかったですし、とても美しいことを聞くことができました。
And I feel very honored to be here, listening the teachings and the guidance, and I'll do my best.
本当にここに来れたことで、今こうやってこういう貴重なお話をお伺いできる機会に出会えたことが本当にありがたいことだと思っています。
道のために来られましてね、たかだか2泊3日ですから、そのために来られたというのはとてもね、貴重な時間であるとともに、私も参考になる道しるべのお話しかできませんし、これから時間をかけてここにおられると、今度は実際に進んでいって心のジャングルに入っていきますからね、そこから本当の指導が始まり、禅が始まるんですけれども、時間というのはとっても大切なんですね。
Well, in such a short stay, it's only 3 nights, 4 days, he did as much as possible for this short stay to be meaningful, and obviously, if you and all of us could stay longer, as we go through this practicing the Zen, then he could help in each of the steps, but not this time, because we'll be obviously going to far more chaos at some point in this path of the enlightenment. Yeah. But he chose that path to come. It was no coincidence.
いつでもその時ですから、時間という時間が特別なるんじゃない。今がその時ですから、今をいかに大事に生きるかというのが禅の極意です。
So the time is precious, and the time is only available now, in this moment, and we just make the best out of this in this moment. That is really the ultimate truth, ultimate teaching of the Zen.
その大切にするというところを間違わないようにしてくださいね。
Just to make sure you take care of that time and the now.
目的は本当の世界を平和にし、自分の心を平和にし、安心をし、快活に生きる、つまり最高のジェントルマンになるための修行ですから。
The purpose is is that to make the world a better place, and also and you settle yourself within yourself personally, privately. Again, you settle yourself. You achieve right there, and then be a gentleman. That's really the purpose, and always not to forget.
その目的を持って今を生きるんですから、休むべき時には休んで、この身も心も大切にする。
So that purpose, always don't forget how to have that purpose, to be a gentleman. To do that, when you need to rest, you must rest. Make sure you pay a great care to your body and mind. When you need to rest, you must rest.
その時にこの体を守るためには、その食べ物からね、この毒が入っているのを食べちゃいかんでしょ。
So to protect you, for example, protect your body, physical health, and to sure do not eat something not good for you, poisonous in some way.
ですから食べることから人とのお付き合いの仕方からまずくすると後に波風が立ってきて厄介になるから、だから人に愛されるように求められるようにこの参考にされるようになっていってこの衝突しないようにやっていく。
So I mean, do not take in anything poisonous. It's the same principle applies to the people. Be pure. Stay pure, and be delightful for others to nurture them. If you are really poisonous, they don't want to get involved with you. They want to stay away. But if you are really good for other people, they'll be happy to see you. They'll be happy to engage with you. They'll be happy to be part with you.
だから今を大切にする言ってもその正しい目的と正しい信念を持ってことに当たらないとこの人と物との関係で今をやっていきますからそこに正しくするということを間違えちゃいますからね。
And what he's trying to say is that to be a gentleman in the path, we always have to have the clear purpose, and also the clear intention to go there and why you are walking that path. Never forget that, because otherwise there will be a time, there will be a people makes you sway and confused. So therefore, it's very important to remember the purpose and also the initial intention.
ここにその人のこの人生観やら知性のレベルやら知識が入ってきますから、それで個人立派な人を参考に しなさいっていう道元禅師が目をぐすべし古をしたいっていうのは優れた人の教えに学べということなんです。
So therefore, going back the founder of the Zen master, Dogen Senshi, so he was saying that one should respect the predecessors because they have gone through the path and they have the accumulated knowledge, that we must take advantage of that knowledge that they could share for us.
勉強して知識を頭をでっかくすることじゃないんですよ。今正しく生きていくために悟るための方法として具体的に行動を起こすための学びですよ。ここ勘違いするんですよ。学べと言われたら本を開いて知識を得ることだと勘違いする人が多い。そうではなくて今行動をするのにいかに悟るため道を得るために参考にすべきかということの学びですからね。
So the knowledge is, do not confuse, knowledge as in like knowledge in the books, but no, the knowledge is something more profound, something that comes with your experience, comes with your accumulated the wiseness, that is already there, available, and that we call the knowledge, profound knowledge. So not the really frivolous, like a knowledge from the Wikipedia, it's like a very easy solution knowledge. No, it's far more profound.
勘違いもするし、失敗もします。誤解もあります。争うこともあります。でもそれをも次の参考にしてね、 せめて今は責任追及をしてこの自分が逃れるというね、こういう社会になってますが、失敗をするという事実もある、真実もあるんですから、失敗を恐れたら前進がありませんからね。だからそれをこのみんなの将来の参考にして学びとして受け入れていけば生きてくるんですから、責めるか生かすかの違いはここです。
So I'm sure there will be you encounter, as you go in Chile with that, founding the temple, there will be people, there may be a fight, among your people, and then, maybe you make wrong decisions, right decisions, I'm sure it will all happen, but that's absolutely fine, unless you unless you make decisions and take actions, there's no going forward. So, and even by making any mistakes and failure, one can learn from it. That is really, that's very important. One can learn, and that is really a knowledge as well. One can learn from your mistakes as well.
もろもろ申し上げましたけどねこれから清らかで内容のある禅道で人を育てていったら、そこに生活するだけで清らかになっていきますからね。
Well, I just said whatever many things, but just to simply put it, if you set up a dojo where there's a purified, it's a very clear, purified teachings. If the dojo has that purified teachings and method, whoever comes in to stay and learn, they naturally will be purified.
皆さんの努力に期待をしますが、ここに滞在する時間は限られておりますんでね、これから昼過ぎまで応援に頑張ってください。
Well, I really expect a lot from you, and we only have a few hours left today, until the lunchtime, just so put yourself fully engaged to the time you have.
じゃあ終わりましょうか。
ありがとうございました。
ありがとうございました。